Good afternoon, everyone. Want to welcome you to today's webinar, um, Doing Business with the Ohio Department of Rehab and Corrections and doing business with ODOT, the Ohio Department of Transportation. So glad that you can join us today. My name is Shonda Harris, and I'm a business opportunity specialist with the Columbus SBA. And I will be facilitating today's webinar. We're grateful that you were able to join us. And we're looking forward to bringing these type of webinars to our small business community, especially small businesses that are looking to expand and grow and take their business to the next level by looking to do and expand and to do government contracting. So we recognize that government contracting, whether it's local, state, or federal, sometimes small businesses need a little assistance to help navigate learning how to do business with government entities. So we've put together this webinar to allow you to learn how to do so. For those of you that may be new to our program that we have, the Ohio Business Matchmaker is one of the largest contracting events here in Central Ohio and a very integral part of our training and outreach that we do, again, to our small business community to assist companies with learning how to do business with government agencies and also connecting with prime contractors. This webinar and the webinar series that we've put together will allow you or allow small businesses to learn about opportunities that can help you to expand your company for growth and also for collaboration. Now, this training that we put on, it is a partnership that we do with the SBA, the Ohio Department of Development, Apex Accelerator, Minority Business Assistance Center, and several other partners. So we are grateful that we're able to put this on for our small business community. Now, this training is designed to help you, give you valuable insight and effective strategies so that you can engage with government buyers and then also lenders. Before we get into today's webinar, we do want to introduce you to one of our partners, the Ohio Apex Accelerator. We recognize that some of you may be new to government contracting, so to help you navigate and learn more about that, and then also to get prepared for our signature contracting event, the Ohio Business Matchmaker, we have a great resource that will enable you to do so. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Joey Scott, who serves as the statewide manager for the Ohio Apex Accelerator. And I'm going to allow Joey to give an overview about Apex, who they are and what they do. Joey?
So much, Shonda. Really appreciate the kind words in the introduction. So, yeah, we've had a wonderful partnership with the SBA and Small Business Development Centers and all the other partners in this event, Minority Business Assistance Centers, and we collaborate on a lot of different opportunities as well, not just the Ohio Business Matchmaker, but we have a signature monthly contracting series with the SBA out of both the Columbus and Cleveland offices. So plenty of opportunities to see us and Shonda and her counterparts on covering lots of different opportunities related to government contracting too. But today, a little overview for those of you that might not be familiar with the Apex Accelerator program. Hopefully you are, but just as a little refresher. We exist to help businesses with all things government contracting. Whether you are new to government contracting or new to the matchmaker, or even if you're a seasoned contracting veteran who has won contracts year after year, we can assist every step of the way. I like to break our services down into 3 buckets: becoming procurement ready, experiencing procurement success, and staying in the government marketplace. So that first bucket is kind of the front end of the government contracting process. Again, we can assist with helping you position yourself for success, becoming procurement ready. What does that mean? Well, making sure that you have the right business certifications or entity registrations. If you're looking to sell to a federal agency, you got to be registered in the system for award management. If you're looking to do business with state of Ohio agencies, even some of the two agencies that we're going to highlight later today, you want to make sure that you are registered as a supplier within the Ohio BUY system. We can help you refine your capability statement. We actually had a webinar this morning as part of this preparation series that addresses how to conduct, market research and developing an effective capability statement. So if you missed that webinar this morning, please be on the lookout for the recording and the recording of this session, both of which will be posted to the Business Matchmaker website. And then we also help clients locate opportunities, whether it be through our bid search program or participating in events like this and connecting you with individuals, agencies, or opportunities. Our second bucket, procurement success. So once you've found an opportunity, once you've been positioned for procurement readiness, we can help you through the process of submitting your response. Or understanding contract clauses, or talking strategy about how to leverage one win into multiple wins down the road. The only thing we cannot do, we are not an agent of your company. We cannot write a proposal on your behalf. However, we can critique your proposal to make sure it is as competitive as possible. And then the third area of focus here, staying in procurement, helping companies maintain compliance through awareness of renewing your SAM registration, understanding contract compliance requirements. For example, if you're a DoD contractor, cybersecurity is a hot button topic right now, and we can help you navigate what that looks like, as well as exploring other opportunities, whether it be in the innovation space or other agencies at the federal, state, or local level. What I like to highlight most, in addition to other areas where we raise awareness, we like to innovate and bring different programs to our clients. We have our procurement internship program, which we're very proud of, is in its third year in partnership with two schools where students are trained at the collegiate level on fundamentals of government contracting, and then they apply that knowledge during a summer internship with Ohio small businesses in the government contracting space, and those companies are reimbursed a partial amount of those wages. We also are developing a cybersecurity assistance program called CyberSecure, which you will hear more about in the coming weeks as well. So long story short, your Apex Accelerator, we are here every step of the way. Whether you're starting out, whether you've won contracts year and year again, we can help you throughout the entire process, every step of the way. And we are your ally in all things government contracting. So with that, I will stop sharing and turn it back over to Shonda.
Great. Thank you so much, Joey. And we are always grateful to be able to partner with the Apex Accelerators. So as you learn more about today, doing business with these agencies, and in the days to come, the other webinars, we definitely want you to reach out to Apex for any assistance. Now, actually, today's webinar, we are excited to be able to bring two, as Joey said, state agencies to you today. The very first hour, we are going to highlight doing business with the Ohio Department of Transportation, better known as ODOT. And our presenter is Ms. Lorraine Stevens, who serves as the Outreach Manager for Districts 5, 6, and 10 for the Office of Outreach at ODOT. And Ms. Lorraine brings a wealth of knowledge and information and definitely expertise in this area, and she'll be able to guide you and show you the ins and outs in doing business with ODOT and finding opportunities and how you can get plugged in. So before we actually have Ms. Lorraine take it over, just a couple of housekeeping items. Again, as Joey mentioned, today's session is being recorded. And so we will put the link in the chat if you want to access that later, and it will be posted to the Ohio Business Matchmaker website. Also, if you do have a question, if you want to pull up the chat and type your question in the chat, and maybe at the end of each section during Lorraine's presentation, we'll address questions during that time, and then at the very end of her session. I believe that that's it at this time. So without further ado, Lorraine, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Well, thank you. Is my screen sharing okay?
Yes, it looks good.
Wonderful. So thank you, Shonda. I appreciate it. And thank you guys for inviting me out. So hello, everyone. Again, my name is Lorraine Stevens, and I'm a regional outreach manager for the Office of Outreach. So I cover Central and Southeast Ohio for districts 5, 6, and 10. And our office is dedicated to assisting small businesses, and we offer information and learning sessions, webinars, partnered events focused on how to do business with ODOT. So our goal is to support socially and economically disadvantaged small businesses through outreach engagement, networking opportunities, education, matchmaking events, and one-on-one interactions. So during this presentation, we will discuss the following. We'll discuss an introduction and overview of ODOT, requirements for doing business with the state through Ohio Wise, ODOT certifications, where to find ODOT opportunities, and some ODOT resources.
Excuse me, Lorraine.
Yes.
I don't know. Your internet sounds a little choppy. You may want to, I don't know, continue to go, maybe turn off your camera. That may help with bandwidth.
Yeah. Okay, do I sound any better?
That sounds a little better, yeah.
Okay,
Thank
sorry
you.
about that, guys.
No.
So, some interesting facts about Ohio. So, Ohio is the 5th largest interstate system. It's the 2nd largest bridge inventory and the 6th highest vehicle miles traveled. So, Ohio has over 43,000 miles of highway, including 1,572 miles of interstate, 21,776 lane miles of national highway system. So our mission. So the Ohio Department of Transportation supports the state highway system and promotes transportation initiatives. So it's more than $3 billion per year enterprise. ODOT invests in bulk of its resources in its system preservation through maintenance, construction, and snow and ice operations. So our mission is to provide safe and easy movement of people and goods from place to place. We strive daily to reach that goal by improving safety, taking care of what we have, making our system work better, and enhancing capacity. So here is a quick look at ODOT's table of organization. So our division is one of 4 divisions that fall under the Assistant Director of Transportation Policy Chief Engineer, which is Dave Slater. So a little bit about Opportunity, Diversity, and Inclusion, the division of ODI. So we have 3 offices that fall underneath our division, which is led by our Deputy Director, Lauren Purdy. So the very first office is the Business of Economic Opportunity, led by Deborah Green. So this encompasses all things DBE and SBE certification, DBE reporting, goal setting, good faith efforts, supportive services, and on-the-job training. We have the Office of Civil Rights Compliance, which is led by Katie Laplace. This encompasses all things prevailing wage, certified payroll, prompt payment, CUF monitoring, Title VI, and ADA and 504. And then we have the Office of Outreach, where I'm at, which is led by Lynn Stevens. So what we provide through this office, so we provide education on workshops and events and webinars. We provide communication by promoting projects with DBE and EDGE goals, and we partner with federal, local, and state agencies and business development organizations. So ODOT is divided into 12 districts. So your regional outreach manager is your central contact for all things related to doing business with ODOT. So they can be a liaison between you and the certification office as well. So we have Michelle Newman as our Northwest Regional Outreach Manager. She covers districts 1, 2, and 3. We have Jennifer Crest, who is our Northeast Regional Outreach Manager that covers 4, 11, and 12. Tony Perry Gillespie, who covers Southwest Region for districts 7, 8, and 9. And again, Central and Southeast Ohio is in my region for districts 5, 6, and 10. So the purchasing manager of ODOT is Dan DeNiro. So I wanted to give you guys a quick contact list and what our ODOT, who you can contact through our ODOT purchasing. So again, Dan DeNiro and is our purchasing manager. And then we have our operating purchasing lead is Michelle Kelly. They oversee a team that manages operating goods and services for statewide opportunities, as well as district purchases and requests for quotes. So ODOT sets aside contracts specifically for firms certified as minority business enterprise, the MBEs, by the Department of Development, and then additionally, businesses that qualify as veteran-friendly businesses as well. So they can receive bid preferences when reporting or responding to invitations to bids. So the ODOT purchasing team supports all districts and central office by handling statewide opportunities, district purchases, and requests for quotes. So before a business can receive a purchase order or enter into a contract with the state of Ohio, it must be fully registered as a state supplier. So Ohio Pay serves as a system that tracks requests and purchases, monitors payments, and allows suppliers to manage their profile. So for businesses new to working with the state, the process includes creating an Ohio ID for system access and registering as a payee profile in Ohio Pays. Here you can use the system to access purchase orders, invoices, and payment information. You can manage users and update payment methods as needed. So being fully registered ensures smooth transaction and timely payments. So types of solicitations. So supplier registration enables vendors to apply commodity codes for their company profile to ensure that they receive notifications for relevant requests for quotes and other solicitations. So we could have requests for proposals. This is used when ODOT seeks solutions based on qualifications and technical expertise. We have invitation to bid, which is used when ODOT requires a specific ODOT or product or service at the lowest reasonable price. And then we have the request for information used to gather market research before issuing a formal solicitation. And then a request for quotes used for one-time procurements where pricing is the main factor. So this is also with some terms and conditions, read those carefully. Acknowledgement is required. And then ensure your bid is considered. It's essential to complete and attach an affirmation disclosure form with each submission in Ohio Buys. So Ohio Buys is now a one-stop shop for ODOT's procurement needs. So DOT integrated the AA system, appropriation accounting, with Ohio Buys. In addition, ODOT has already shifted from Ion Wave to Ohio Buys. This is designed for streamlining and modernized procurement processes, and this shift aims to provide a more user-friendly, efficient interface for the suppliers. So if you want to work with Ohio, register and for an Ohio ID, which provides your username and password for Ohio Buys and Ohio Pays. Use the login for the Ohio Buys, navigate and learn the system, complete your profile, and respond to relevant state solicitations to be considered for awards and state contracts. So on the Welcome to Ohio Buys homepage, we can look at both the public solicitations and public contract screens. These are how to locate opportunities that fit your needs. So looking at viewing public solicitations, here you can find how that would look if you selected that and what the opportunities are. Also, back from the home screen, if you select public contracts, this will take you to this spot here. And if you want to know more on how to search in the keywords, you can put in rock salt, and then it's going to bring you up all the opportunities there. So that's how you kind of look for some opportunities through Ohio Buys. So ODOT certifications. So we have two. So we have one we'll talk about first, which is the DBE program. So this operates under the guidance of the Federal Highway Transit and Aviation Administration. ODOT receives federal transportation funds and therefore required to administer the DBE program. So this program was established to remedy discrimination, level the playing field to compete for an opportunity to work on federally funded contracts. So DBE eligibility. So to be certified as a DBE, a firm must be an independent small business owned, 51%, and controlled and by a socially and economically disadvantaged individual or multiple socially and economically disadvantaged individuals. So here's a little bit more about it. So the firm also must meet SBA small business site standards. So DBE role. So it's important for, oh, sorry about that. So it's important for DBEs to understand DBE program requirements. DBE goals require that a predetermined percentage of the total cost of projects must be paid to DBEs for eligible work performing commercially useful functions. So proper work and payment records from subcontractors are therefore necessary in order for the prime contractor to prove that the goals were met. So prime contractors count on the subcontractors to maintain their DBE certification and have the proper license and certification for the type of work you're to perform. If for any reason you fail to maintain your proper licensing and certification, it is crucial that you inform the prime contractor immediately. So if you hire DBE tier subcontractors, it's similarly important for you to ensure that they meet all necessary requirements as well to count for the goal. So where can you use your DBE certification? So where any agency that receives federal transportation related funding are required to have a DBE goal. So where you can see that is an ODOT Royal Transit goals assigned to fiscal years 23 to 24 and 25. You can use it with ODOT, urban transit systems, airports, local public agencies, and other state agencies when interstate certification is obtained. So agencies that receive federal funding may have DBE goal. ODOT's goal for highway construction and design is 15.7, and its goal for Royal Transit is 11.9%. So you can use your certification as a tool to help gain leverage and stand out in today's business market. So before we get started, do we have any questions for the DBE side?
I don't see any questions right now.
All right, we're going to go ahead and move towards the Small Business Enterprise SBE set aside. So this is a race gender neutral set aside program that restricts competition for prime contracts on certain federally funded highway construction and design contracts. So example could be like culvert repair, culvert replacement, geotechnical design, environmental consulting. Small businesses that have been certified through the program. So SBE firms must be pre-qualified at the time of bid with ODOT businesses and bid on SBE set-aside projects. So the SBE must perform or exercise responsibility for at least 30% of the total cost of its contract of its workforce. So SBE certification is not intended for and will provide no benefit to firms that do not intend to participate in ODOT contracting and consulting activities as prime contractors. So ODOT may reach out to firms that do not appear to be a good fit if you apply for it, and then they'll let you know. Go ahead, and then how to apply. So firms are now required to submit applications and forms utilizing the new B2G Now certification management system. To apply, you would click on the green launch button. Once you clicked on that, it's going to take you to this page. And then to apply for or manage your DBE certification, you can click on the link annotated with the red arrow. So the SBE certification program will be administered by ODOT in the manner similar to the DBE certification program. So, but without the consideration of the gender or gender neutral of the firm's owners. So all SBE firms must be certified prior to submitting a bid. In order to apply for SBE certification, you need to follow the steps, such as you would prepare and gather all your supporting documentation. You would visit this certification management system, log into the B2G Now, just as the same as you would do for the DBE certification, and then follow the system's instructions once you've logged in. So please note that the B2G Now offers ongoing vendor training, which can be found under systems training at the link. And after you submit your application and support documents, ODOT will be in contact with you regarding your next steps as well. So I'm going to go ahead and stop there. So those are both certifications, DBE and SBE. Do we have any questions, Shonda?
No.
Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and just move on. You do not have to have any certifications to do business with ODOT. So here is just a few links that I put here. So for ODOT quote opportunities, my apologies, we just removed Ion Wave and no longer using them. So that is not a good link. But you can get onto the request for proposals and invitations. That's the Ohio Buys link. And then facility construction as well. And then for state term contracts, again, so the state of Ohio Office of Procurement. So current contracts, so informational contracts that are currently awarded and utilized, again, you can get onto Ohio Buys. We've completely moved over to that. And then again, you can find based off the type of business, if you're an IT company, then you can locate opportunities using the state of Ohio IT staff augmentation. Okay, ODI resources. Before we go on to that, did we have any questions about opportunities where you're not certified?
No.
Okay. So ODI resources. So our primary goal for our supportive services program is to assist small construction and consulting heavy highway firms to compete and perform on federally funded heavy highway projects. They provide training workshops, mentor protege programs, and oversee the assistance that is being provided by CEI DBE Supportive Services. So if you want any more information about supportive services, you would reach out to that either that site or that email address there. And the great benefit about the CEI, so this is they provide technical assistance. Now you have to be DBE certified to utilize this this agency here, but they provide one-on-one training customized to individual DBE needs, accounting and bookkeeping and billing and payment, cost estimating, bid preparation and bidding process, setting up a job site, cash scheduling, cash flow. They also help with business and marketing development, review and capability statements, website assistance, marketing plan, developing a business plan, and that's just to name just a few things that they do. They do a lot of stuff. So, and then Ohio DBE Certified Firms has access to the site and where you can connect to opportunities, and it's broken down by work type. But again, that can only be utilized if you are DBE certified. So capability statements, marketing your firm. So a capability statement, Joey mentioned that earlier. It's a one-page type illustrative document which lists a business core competencies. Its similar concept and structure is to a personal resume. So a capability statement is broken down into detailed and technical information sections. So what is the purpose of a capability statement? It's to serve as a single-page marketing tool, provides credibility, a requirement for municipal, state, and federal contracting opportunities. It helps you win contracts. It informs decision makers. You can stand out from the crowd, and points to consider. So capability statements should be brief, only 1 to 2 pages, specifically related to the individual's agency needs. And ideally it's a living document that will change depending on your targeted agency. So the document should be visually interesting and have similar graphic elements to the company's brand and logo. So our office provides DBE and Edge firms the opportunity to showcase their capability statements on our website, specifically for construction and consulting firms. So this platform can be utilized by prime construction and consulting firms to find potential subcontractors. So this is the website here that you can go to, and then where you can view others' capability statements. So if you need like an example of, and then you can also click submit your form on the site as well. So the Office of Outreach. So the Office of Outreach, so when you visit the site here, so you can explore upcoming events, you can subscribe to the newsletter and access featured outreach resources. So these include capability statements like we talked about before, resource library, transit, procurement opportunities, information about Ohio Unified Certification Program as well. So you can also sign up for bi-weekly bid opportunities here, receive again monthly newsletters, and locate our contact page to reach out to your regional outreach manager. So also on the outreach page, you can find the following resources: the Small Business Library, which is a great tool and a place to locate some great information. We'll talk about that a little bit. So if you're new to being a small business or want to enhance your small business, you may want to review ODOT Small Business Library. So to learn about requirements, pre-qualification, certification, and additional processes, you can choose your work type in the subcategory list at the bottom of the page, and then you can learn about requirements. Again, pre-qualification is very important, and the process relative to small business contracting. So how your firm can do business with ODOT depends on the work that you would like to provide to the department. So firms performing professional services related to design and inspection heavy highway projects, for example, will work with ODOT's Office of Consultant Services. And construction firms, meanwhile, will work with ODOT's Office of Contract. So ODOT's highway projects may have DBE goals, which are federally funded projects. Small SBE set aside also federally funded highway projects. And then the EDGE goals are state funded highway projects. So if you click on the construction subcontractor, this is just an example of what you'll see here. Here you can learn about certification and processes relative to small business contracting. You can also see more information about subcontractor requirements and pre-qualification information. So there's a lot of great information on that small business library that you could definitely utilize on how to do business with us. The Office of Outreach, again, is a great start when wanting to know more about how to locate opportunities and to do business with ODOT. Again, here is all of our contact information and the regions in which we work in. I'll leave that up for a few minutes.
Lorraine, we do have a question.
Okay.
Amid wants to know where they can show, they have a portable lead sign trailer. They want to be able to show it to interested parties at ODOT. They do manufacture their trailer here in Ohio, and they say they're very competitive.
Okay, so reach out to one of your outreach managers there. They would be happy to set up a meeting with the appropriate people. So if you have a capability statements and a little bit about what your company does, send us over an email, a synopsis of what you do, and then we can align you with the correct folks.
Okay, so whatever county they're in, they will follow up with the outreach manager in that county. Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So again, your regional outreach manager is your central contact to all things related to doing business with the ODOT. So outreach can be a liaison between you and the certification office. And then general outreach, a email is listed right there. And Shonda, do they get a copy of these slides as well, or just a recording?
No, and I'll put it in the chat. Both the link to the recording and a copy of the slides will be uploaded to the Ohio Business Matchmaker website. And if they click on the webinar registration tab at the top, underneath each of the webinars, it'll have the recording link and then the slides.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all very much. I appreciate you inviting me over to do this presentation. And if there's no other questions, I'll go ahead and just stop.
Lorraine, I do have, thank you so much. It's always wonderful to hear about the wonderful things that ODOT is doing. And I always have to be reminded that you guys are all over the state. I know I've gone to an appointment up in Delaware, and where my doctor's office is, there's an ODOT, one of the regional offices up in Delaware. So just wanting to find out, will ODOT be represented at the Ohio Business Matchmaker?
We will. We'll have 2 tables. We've already placed in our profiles in My Business Matches and just waiting for schedules to come in.
Awesome. And then would you be able to, if someone were interested in doing business with ODOT, where would they look for upcoming opportunities? Is it different for each region? Is there one central location, or is that something that you can share with everyone?
Sure. So you can always go to Ohio Department of Transportation and then type in opportunities. It's going to bring you to the main page of that. You can reach out to your outreach managers. We're always willing to help small businesses locate opportunities. Again, you do not have to be certified either in DBE or SBE. We're always here to help and how to locate those opportunities.
Okay, great. And another question. So if anybody has questions, I know I just have a couple, please go ahead and type them in the chat before we move on to our next presenter. I know that ODOT had a mentor protege program, and they had some networking opportunities and connecting potential proteges with mentors. Is that program still
we still have
that program?
We still have the program, but they need to be DBE certified.
Okay, they have to be. Okay, and then in order for you to match them as a protege with a mentor, they do have to be DBE certified.
They do, and at least be in business for a year.
Okay, and then are there regularly scheduled networking events for the mentors and the proteges, or?
Yeah, that is being held by Supportive Services. That is through Micah Flanagan. And if you are DBE certified and you want to know more about that program, let me go ahead and pull up her information. And please reach out to her and she'll be able to get that scheduled. She does a great job of aligning your work type with primes and facilitating those meetings within that, just to make sure that it is going like it should. So both parties are getting something out of it. But yes, we'll go ahead and that's right here.
And with the Supportive Services, do they still offer? I know I had some of my 8A firms that were DBE certified, and they needed like assistance with QuickBooks or getting the QuickBooks, the software, going to some types of training. And they reached out to ODOT, and I think they signed up, and there was money available for Supportive Services for them to take advantage of those type of things to help out with the business. Is that something that's still available through support? Okay.
No, they've done away with that program. And that's why they created that contract with CEI. So they're the ones that kind of took over for the reimbursement program. So if you're DBE certified, you can reach out to them, and then they offer not just just that program, but just so many other things that they do, just like a capability statements, website design. They just offer just a slew of training opportunities and assisting with small businesses. But again, you have to be DBE certified. And if you're interested in becoming DBE certified, please reach out either to myself, always available to your outreach manager in your local region. And we are always happy to help with getting out more information, where to go. I know there's been some changes in the certification. We're now using B2G now. So that is definitely a change. So if you have any questions in regards to how to apply now, what supporting documentations are needed, your outreach manager is your prime person to reach out to help with those things.
Okay, great. Thank you. And it looks like while I was asking questions, a few questions came in the chat. I think Joey may have answered them, but Jennifer Christ covers Cuyahoga County. Is that correct? Up near Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And he provided the map. So the DBE certification, if you can just go over that, maybe go back to that slide. Amid had a question. What is the DBE certification, and if there's a cost, and how long does it take to get certified?
Okay, so the DBE certification. So again, there's no cost to become DBE certified. It usually takes around 90 days to become DBE certified. So you have to be reputably presumed to be socially and economically disadvantaged. And you need to have owning and controlling a firm. You must have a personal net worth of less than 2.047. And then a firm must meet SBA business size standards, which is not to exceed the 30.72. So yeah, so again, we help with that service. We are absolutely free. We work for the Ohio Department of Transportation. We're not selling a service to anyone. We're just trying to locate opportunities and give these small businesses an opportunity to have a piece of the pie. So our role, again, DBE, if you receive federal dollars, then there could be goals assigned with any project out there. So when they're out there looking for DBE companies to make up that goal, so they're the subcontractors on all of our ODOT contracts, and as a result, you will work underneath a prime contractor. So and then to use your DBE certification, again, so you can use it with anyone that's receiving federal dollars. Again, ODOT, Highway Construction and Design, and Royal Transit, urban transit such as Dayton RTA, Cleveland RTA, CODA, TARTA, Metro, airports such as any airports, and then any LPAs, so local public agencies that receive federal funding, and then any other part of the state that uses interstate certification, which is obtained. So definitely it's used throughout the state of Ohio. There's a lot of goals out there. So yeah, and it's a really good program.
All right, wonderful. I know with all of the work that's being done in the renovations at the airport, the John Glenn Airport, does DBE have goals to support some of the projects that are out at the airport?
Sure. So that is ACDBE. So with that, you have to be a concession to become certified at an airport. So so they need to be considered that. But there is a lot of opportunity with the airport right now. If you go onto their website and under the DBE program, they talk a lot about what the changes that they're making out there right now. So there's a lot of good opportunity for construction side as well.
Okay.
And you don't have to have an ACDBE to do work out there while they're having that contract. They should have goals assigned with that projects.
Okay, wonderful. Are there any other questions for Lorraine? Anything pertaining to ODOT, anything pertaining to the certification, anything pertaining to upcoming projects? Again, they will be with us at the Ohio Business Matchmaker. And if you have a question, you can go ahead and type it in the chat. We do have a few minutes before we bring up our next presenter. So if you do have a question, go ahead again and type it in the chat. But ODOT will be at the Ohio Business Matchmaker. And I don't think I mentioned this at the beginning of the webinar. So all of the presentations that we'll be doing, all of the webinars this month and next month will be leading up to the Ohio Business Matchmaker, which will take place on April 23rd and 24th in Dayton, Ohio. So there will be the first day on the 23rd, we'll have a half day of training, followed by a reception in the evening. And then on the 24th will be a full day of matchmaking. And so we'll have all of the state agencies, ODOT, ODRC. Next week we have Right Pat. So there'll be federal agencies, state agencies, local agencies that will be there, and some organizations. And you will have a chance to register with your NAICS codes. And then you'll be matched with the agencies that are there that have the same NAICS codes. And once you register, then we will connect that agency that has a need for the products and services you have, and then that what you offer. And then you'll be able to set up. Oh, I think somebody's showing the screen.
Yes,
Oh, great. I think
while you're talking, Shonda, I was trying to pull up the buyers for you, and then I can showcase the agenda and webinars as well.
Great. I think that will be great, because I think our next speaker is having some issues, some technical issues, just kind of logging on. So wonderful. This will be a great way to kind of segue. And while we're waiting, what Joey has on the screen, once you log onto the Ohio Business Matchmaker, I'm going to put that logo, I'm going to put that website back in the chat. When you log onto the website, what Joey has here, these are all of the federal buyers, so the federal agencies that have already registered. Looks like we have different divisions of Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, DLA, NASA, Army Corps of Engineers, the state and local buyers. So the state agencies like Lorraine, the different state agencies that have already registered, they're listed there. And then prime contractors, those are the small businesses that have direct contracts. Usually the larger companies that have direct contracts with the agency are your primes. And so sometimes breaking into government contracting, it may be, especially if you're new, it may be difficult for you to get a prime contract or a direct award with an agency. So sometimes doing subcontracting may be a great way for you to break entrance into the market. So also, if you're interested in coming to the matchmaker, not just small businesses, but there may be companies that may want to display. So thank you, Amid. If you do want to have a booth and you want to be an exhibitor, thank you, Joey. So there is a fee for that. Looks like it's $350. So if you do want to have a space, a table to exhibit either your product or your wares, you definitely can register. The matchmaker is a wonderful place for you to do that. And you can be both a small business that where you're setting up meetings with federal or local buyers. And then you also want to have somebody that represents your table at an exhibitor booth. You can definitely do that so that those agencies have a chance to not just talk with you face to face, but physically see what you have to offer. So again, that registration is there. And I don't know if they list the exhibitors on the website once they register. I think they may just list the buyers and the agency. So
We do not list the exhibitors on the website, but once you reach the event, there will be a floor plan map that highlights, all of the exhibitors that are present. So if you are exhibiting, people will be able to find your table very easily.
Yes. Okay.
Shonda, if I may too, let
Go ahead.
me, explain too, so once you register for the event as a supplier, meaning you're a small business, you want to meet with the, buyers there, there will be an email that is sent out once the matchmaking part is opened. So, right now you can register, and, take advantage of the early bird fee, to register for the event, and then a separate email will be sent. I believe it's, the end of March, early April. It'll be sent out to all of the registered suppliers that, matchmaking is now open. So that is then how you will go in and request matches during the scheduled portion of the matchmaker. There are scheduled meetings and there are unscheduled meetings within the matchmaker. And so I'll pull up that agenda right now. Essentially, the scheduled meetings are you have already requested a one-on-one meeting with said buyer, and you will have your allotted time to meet with them. Unscheduled is as it sounds. It is more of a free-for-all. So you definitely want to be on the lookout for that email so you can register or request the meetings when that opens up. And as we transition to get our second panelist here set up, I also wanted to highlight the webinars, and we'll talk about this again at the end of this session too, but all of the upcoming webinars, so you can get a glance and a look ahead as we get set up. So Shonda, I think we have our second panelist on here, so I will turn it back over to you.
Great. And that's why I was checking to see, because I knew last time I checked, they were still having some technical issues. So thank you, Joey, for bringing up that website and showing individuals. Again, thank you so much, Lorraine, and giving us all that information about doing business with ODOT and also the certifications. And without further ado, our next agency, we are pleased to have the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. Ms. Jennifer Conway serves as a sourcing supervisor. And so we are grateful to have Jennifer presenting today. And Jennifer, are you, I think that's you. You want to go ahead and turn on your camera, or I think your mic is on. Jennifer? I don't know if they are. Let me check to see if they're on. Just checking to see if they're on. I know technology is, you love it, but sometimes the day and age we're living in, we can have technical difficulties. So just seeing if they are on. It looks like.
While you're resolving that, Shonda, I'll just talk through kind of the upcoming webinars.
That sounds like a plan, Joey. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, today we are going to be joined by Ms. Jennifer Conway here in a little bit, and one of her colleagues to cover, how to do business with the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. You just heard from Ms. Lorraine Stevens from ODOT, and we'll make sure that her contact information is in the chat in just a moment. But a look ahead next week, we talked a little bit about the DBE certification. Well, there's plenty more business certifications out there at the federal, state, and local level. So we will showcase those federal and state certifications. We'll hear from our very own Shonda Harris or Jill Nagy Reynolds from the SBA federal certifications, and then we'll also be joined by the office within the Department of Development who handles the state business certifications. So you'll learn all about those and how they can relate to your business, as well as in the afternoon, how to do business with Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. So, the Air Force, we have a strong presence here in Ohio with Wright-Pat and all of the components down there. And, they have plenty of opportunities for businesses that you want to learn more about. That would be the perfect chance and a great segue into any meetings that you may schedule with them at the Matchmaker. So with that, I see we've got our guests on here, so I will pause and turn it over to you.
Jennifer, again, we are always grateful, and we try to plan for these because sometimes, again, as we said, technology can work, but then when it doesn't, we do have to be able to pivot and kind of fill in. So again, thank you so much, Joey, for showing everybody the upcoming webinars. Definitely want you to participate and join with us on those webinars as well. Now to close out today, we do have Miss Jennifer Conway, again, as I said, who serves as the sourcing supervisor for the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. And so we definitely want to give her an opportunity to let you know how you can do business with ODRC. Jennifer?
Can you hear me, Shanda?
I can.
Oh, great.
And
Great. We were trying to get Richard online as well, but we were having a little bit of trouble there. So we're bringing it up here. Can you see me?
nah, I can't, but that's okay. If you want to go ahead and see if you can upload your slides, because even if you don't have, if your camera's not working, if you're able to show your slides, that would be great.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why. Okay. We will just get started here.
We will get started. All right, it looks like it's gonna be sharing here in a minute. Uh-oh. It just went down.
I apologize for the delay on this. I'm doing all the things that we did earlier in the test run.
That's
and it's just
okay.
not
And
working.
you may wanna, if you wanna email your slides to me, and then that way I can always bring them up and show them, if you're having some issues with your system. It's amazing how sometimes we can go through, we do a little dry run, everything works perfectly. And then during the time of the webinar, okay, it looks like it's trying to come back on here.
Okay, let me know when you can see our logo.
It's okay, not yet. It looks like you're sharing your screen, so it looks like it's trying to pull up, but it's not coming. There we are. Okay. We are making progress here. And if you can you put it in presentation mode so it takes up the full screen? And the wonderful thing is, the beauty of this is Lorraine left enough time to where it's just now 2:00. So you're perfect. All things are working together, even though we're having a little technical difficulties. You're right on time.
Beware. I'm more
So
familiar with Teams.
You said what?
I said I'm more familiar with Microsoft
There we go.
Teams.
There we go. Okay, now it's the full screen. It looks great. I see your first. So if you can go ahead and go to your next slide to make sure that you're able to change slides, and then we will be cooking with gas.
Okay. Do you see a small picture in picture?
No, only thing I see is just your first slide.
Okay. I think we're ready to go then. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna wait.
I'm sorry.
No. It's all is well. I just want to, there we go. Okay. Yep, I saw the next slide, so I just want to make sure you could forward your slide. So I think we're good. Jennifer?
Okay, all right. I was just making sure you're ready. Okay.
Yes, yep. The floor is all yours, Ms. Jennifer
All right.
Conway, Sourcing Supervisor for Ohio Department of Rehab and Corrections. We are so excited to have you presenting, and nothing is going to stop this. So regardless of, we've gone through the hard part, and like I said, there was enough time to left, so we're right on time. So you can go ahead and take it away.
Okay, thank you again for having us
Oh,
today,
you're
Shanda.
welcome. You're welcome.
Like Shanda introduced, I am the sourcing supervisor for the Department of Rehabilitation and Correction, and I work in the Operations Support Center, which is our central office level. Richard Clark is here with me today, and he's going to speak on minority business for the Department of Corrections. So what we've done is we have a few slides today that's going to be pretty high level of just how to do business with the state in general, as well as with DRC. So the DRC is, we have a network of facilities throughout the state. The institutions are grouped by regions. You have the North, South, and specialty regions. The specialty regions are managing the female population, the Franklin Medical Center, and the reception centers. We also have a few privately owned facilities. Each institution is unique in operational design and infrastructure, as well as the needs of the incarcerated population. There's a complete listing of institution locations and facility offerings available on the ODR website, listed there in the corner. Okay, so this is a little bit about DRC. This is a little bit about us. So the Bureau of Personnel is our Office of Human Resources. They're responsible for recruitment, hiring, training, and retention of corrections officers and professionals. DRC staffs roughly 11,000 employees and is currently focused on recruitment efforts toward filling the vacancies. You may have seen, if you live near an institution, pretty much every institution has a sign up that we're hiring for every possible position. You can find the openings for permanent state employment at our website, drc.ohio.gov. There's also some volunteer opportunities at that website as well. You can find us on social media. DRC utilizes state contracts for medical, IT, and admin support staffing resources. There's currently no competitive opportunity in this space. Usually when we speak in these platforms, there are a lot of questions about contract and temporary services for medical positions, and that is currently a mandatory contract. The Office of Prisons is responsible for the supervision, oversight, and operation of all prison and reentry related operations. This encompasses all the daily activities within the prisons. Parole and Community Services is responsible for release and supervision of adult felony offenders returning to their local communities from prison. It's comprised of the Adult Parole Authority, the State Ohio Parole Board, Community Corrections Partnerships, and halfway houses. The Office of Administration includes the Budget and Finance team, which is where Richard and I report, Business Operations, the Construction Division, our Fleet, Real Estate, and Ohio Penal Industries. DRC has a decentralized procurement process. Therefore, each institution is fiscally independent of each other. DRC does not manage statewide overhead purchasing, so each institution manages their own budget, purchasing needs, and strategic planning. Holistic services includes medical operations, behavioral health, recovery services, recreation, religious services, the Ohio Central School System, and workforce development. The holistic approach promotes optimal wellness by providing integrated, client-centered wraparound services for the incarcerated population. Workforce development prepares participants for careers that offer living wages by providing education, training, and skills for a successful transition back to their communities. Legal services, DRC administration is assisted by our in-house legal services team, as related to procurement assists with contracts for prison services and infrastructure. And one question that always seems to come up when we meet with the community is about notary services. And those are handled in-house at every location. We do have notary publics, so there is not a need there. The Chief Inspector's Office, this division ensures that the persons under our supervision inside the facilities and in the community on parole are treated fairly and appropriately, but they monitor compliance with laws, rules, policies, and internal and external standards for corrections and American Correction Association. The Bureau of Compliance audits each facility according to the ACA, the American Correctional Association accreditation standards. CIO also oversees the K-9 division and the Central Intelligence Units as a liaison to the Ohio State Patrol. Technology is a significant portion of what our daily operation has become. We use it to enhance safety and promote transparency within the facilities. DRC is currently modernizing processes, upgrading our IT presence. Chromebooks were issued to incarcerated adults for modern remote learning experiences, and we deployed wireless networks during the COVID pandemic for continued education opportunities. Drone diversion technology has been implemented at prisons. You may have seen in the news that law enforcement has moved towards the body-worn cameras. That's also happening in the corrections as well with body scanners, and there is a pilot program for tasers. So in this next section, we're going to just hit a high level of the planning portion of procurement and how to do business. So Ohio Buys is available to the public. It is mandated by DRC to use Ohio Buys for our purchasing platform. We use this for requisitions and solicitations and purchasing our goods and services. The contracting piece is also included within that as we move forward and grow in this new system. There are a lot of resources available for Ohio Buys. There's webinars, job aids, training materials, and other resources that assist in the onboarding process if you've not yet registered for Ohio Buys. There's trainers that will help you navigate that system, and it's designed for any skill level. You can schedule open office hours and have an appointment with a trainer who will personally troubleshoot any issues that you're having in the system. If you haven't yet registered as a supplier, you need to create an Ohio ID. This is a single sign-on credential. It's used throughout multiple applications in the business processes, such as the solicitation and even the payables activity to manage and monitor your invoices. Under the bidders and suppliers tab, you launch into Ohio Buys and you establish your profile. You'll receive an email notification when you log into Ohio Buys. Since we are a little limited on time today, one thing I would like to focus on is the UNSPSC, the commodity codes. These codes drive the procurement processes in Ohio Buys. You can use the website of unspsc.org to locate the commodity codes that are most fitting for your business and your company. And you can register to receive notifications for solicitation activities that are specific to that commodity code series. Agencies have the ability to solicit to qualified MBE and EDGE suppliers in this arena as well. So it's important to have those certifications active when you access these opportunities. So the Department of Administrative Services, we just commonly refer to them as DAS, provides solutions and supports the safety and IT goods and services. They direct procurement practices and agencies and support suppliers. DRC's procurement activities conform to the revised code 125 and policies established by DAS. DAS mandates some enterprise level contracts, and they also offer optional contracts to all agencies. By law, state agencies are required to purchase from these requisite programs and contracts prior to purchasing from other suppliers. And here are useful resources for the DAS website. on how to sell to the state, the IT, strategic planning, the procurement services division. So the mandatory requisite program required by any state agency to utilize first before seeking any public solicitation. So I'm just going to kind of hit the highlights of each of these to explain what they are. Ohio Penal Industries is an arm of DRC. It's an industrial training program. The OPI program seeks to reduce recidivism by enabling incarcerated adults to acquire real life skills and experiences that make them better prepared to maintain employment after they are released. Each correctional institution has different shops equipped to produce several products and services. Every incarcerated individual that joins the OPI program, they will gain certain skills and acquire certification apprenticeships that will allow them to find a job and maintain employment once they are released. A complete list of products and services can be found at opi.ohio.gov. Employers who wish to hire former incarcerated adults as part of the reentry program, you can go to OPI's website, and there's a place for second chance employers. So please, I encourage anyone who is interested in that to look into the OPI website. The Community Rehabilitation Program is comprised of nonprofit organizations who employ people with work-limiting disabilities. DAS contracts and these suppliers to provide items such as office supplies, document destruction, janitorial services, and work apparel. The Personal Protective Equipment Program is administered by DAS and includes disposable face masks, surgical masks, and commercial respirator masks that are manufactured in Ohio. The Business Enterprise Program, administered by Ohioans with disabilities, assists people with visual disabilities and provides employment opportunities in food service areas, operating cafeterias, snack bars, convenience stores, and vending locations. The Office of Information and Technology, OIT, is DAS. They provide information technology and telecom services found using the Ohio Wise IT Enterprise Services portal. There's hosted catalogs to access the OIT service catalogs. And the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services for Pharmacy Service Center. They provide pharmaceuticals, over-the-counter drugs, medical and lab supplies, and personal care products. And finally, the OFCC, the Facilities Construction Commission. I'm sure that ODOT spoke on that. They guide capital construction and improvement projects for the state. They have the authority to approve, award, and administer design, survey, and other specialty services related to construction. I included the revised code and the links to that for easy access to that information on the law for those processes. DAS, excuse me, mandates some enterprise level contracts and offers optional contracts as well to agencies. DAS also assists in negotiating service levels and pricing for the most frequently used commodities across the state. Existing contract options should be reviewed prior to spending with an external supplier. Having said that, that should not deter any of you to register in Ohio Buys or to participate in bid opportunities. DRC has needs that are non-contract and they are discretionary purchases in both open market and minority business. And I ran some numbers and some reports and found some areas, these categories that I've listed here were all public solicitations that were not on contract for a specific need that they came across a specific project or something that came up that was not listed in the hosted catalogs or the punch out catalogs in Ohio Buys. So when that occurs, then they would, if you register in a specific commodity code in any of these categories, then you would be notified that there was a solicitation that you could bid on. And I did the same thing with OPI. A lot of people are not familiar with OPI and what their business is. So I highlighted some of their some of the higher dollar purchases that they made in FY24 that were open to the public for non-contract items. So this is just really informational, like as an example of something you might see open for public solicitation at any time. So again, you can register for any commodity code series and get notifications. That doesn't mean that you have to participate in them. You can just choose to be notified when they come up. Ohio Wise has a public-facing listing of all state contracts. This accounts for all agencies, not just for DRC. This screenshot, it shows you the search filter options that you have available. You can search by the commodity, the prime contracts, the dealers, the award dates, anything that you're looking for. For the purpose of this screen, the participating organizations where I've selected the Department of Corrections, that is the participating organization. That's going to be your agency. But it also will break it down per location. Like every prison will be listed there individually if you would like to go that detailed. And I'm going to pass it on here to Richard to talk about our minority business.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Apologize for any background noise that you may hear. We're trying to keep the party going. Had a little bit of technical difficulties, but I think we got a lot of that worked out. So this might be duplicative, but I'm going to go through it anyway at a very high level and quickly as well. But again, my name is Richard Clark. I'm the MBE administrator for the state. Out of all the 26 cabinet level agencies, I'm probably the only one who manages the preference programs exclusively. So I do have a stake in this part of the business with DRC. So these are some of the preference programs in our state. Ohio is a pro Buy Ohio American state. Preferences granted products raised, grown, produced, mined, or manufactured in Ohio or a border state or significant economic presence in Ohio. Purchases should be a U.S. domestic source and of course the MBE program, Minority Business Enterprise, DRC goal every year, fiscal year is 15% of total eligible expenditures for MBE programs. You probably already know certification requirements, but at least 51% owned and controlled for more than 1 year by an Ohio resident or citizen, belongs to one of the following ethnic groups: African American, Asian, Hispanic, or Native American. And then we have the EDGE program, encouraging diversity, growth, and equity. DRC's goal is to spend 5% of total eligible expenditures towards EDGE programs, certification requirements, resident of Ohio, and members of one of the identified economically or socially disadvantaged groups. Eligible expenditures, supplies, services, professional services, IT services, construction, architecture, and engineering. As it relates to our agency, we meet our EDGE percentage primarily in the construction space. Then we have the veteran-friendly business enterprise program, better known as VBE. That's the acronym. At least the certification requirements, at least 10% of its employees are veterans or on active duty status. At least 51% of the applicant business is owned by veterans or persons on active service. If a corporation's 51% of which is not owned by veterans or persons on active service, at least 51% of the board of directors must be veterans or persons on active service. This business is certified by the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs as a serviced disabled veteran-owned small business. Women-owned business, better known as WBE, that's the acronym. Certification is at least 51% owned and controlled by a woman who is a U.S. citizen, has established residency in the state of Ohio or reciprocal state. There are no statutory requirements that a percentage of the state person EE program like the MBE and EDGE currently. This may change in the future. However, we do look at the data to make sure that these programs are represented. As you can see from the slide, we're the nice big star there, if you didn't notice it. As you can see from the slide, DRC for fiscal year 23 did very well in the MBE space. We were around 24% in MBE set aside. DRC has been around 24% for the last 3 years. Look at the MBE total expenditure. As you can see, it's 48,218,328. That is a lot of money in the MBE space, and DRC definitely takes making sure that we meet our requirements, going above and beyond, very, very serious. There are 7 minority business assistance centers. We call them MBACs, throughout the state of Ohio. The Department of Development, Minority Business Development Division supports these centers. These centers are set up to leverage resources and support minority businesses. Some of the services that they provide are assistance with certification, professional assistance, connection to business opportunities, financial assistance, and business counseling, to name a few. Get to know the people at your local MBAC office. They'll be a great resource for your business. Also, get an opportunity, visit the Ohio Department of Development's website. There's a lot of useful information on these programs. I speak with them frequently, and they could be a great resource as well. Lastly, DRC will be at the Nutter Center, and hopefully, you guys will, be present for the in-person Ohio Matchmaker in April. Hopefully we'll be, if you got time or if you're there, hopefully you'll stop by and we'll be able to get some face contact, and it'd be nice to do it in person with everyone on the call.
Okay. So lastly, we want to talk about our capitally funded division. We commonly refer to them as CAMS. It stands for Construction, Activation, Maintenance, and Sustainability. So the CAMS division handles capital improvement projects, and the capital budget expenses in FY24 were just over $400 million. Capital purchase, it can be construction or major equipment acquisitions or an IT upgrade, a major acquisition there in that space as well. I've included the links on the slide for the revised code laws and the information associated with these type of projects and improvement for these expenditures. Projects exceeding 1.5 million are administered by the Ohio Facilities Construction Commission, in partnership with the agencies. Both the DRC construction projects and those managed by OFCC are posted publicly on the Bid Express website. It's an online bidding system for commission administrated capital construction projects. The commission selected Bid Express as an internet-based bidding information service. It's essentially the vehicle for submitting and processing sealed bids for all multiple prime and general contracting projects managed by the agency. So let's go to the next slide. Sustainability is a pretty big topic for us right now. DRC's annual utilities expense averages about $46 million. Considering this large of a footprint, there are many opportunities to decrease our energy consumption. Materials and supplies to continue with efficient and sustainable resources is really a growing need for all locations within DRC. We focus sustainability as a teaching mechanism to incarcerated adults about the importance of the conservation process and the energy efficiencies. We offer program opportunities during their incarceration, and they can earn certifications and additional information that can be applicable to jobs upon reentry. DRC added real-time monitoring of gas, electric, and water utilities to its sustainability initiatives. Energy audits are conducted annually of utility usage and waste diversion, primarily like food and composting. OFCC developed and installed energy performance contracts to update and improve energy efficiencies over the last few bienniums under our capital funded projects. These include retrofitting like plumbing, electric, and HVAC components. ODRC does post the sustainability plans and goals for the agency on the ODRC website if you're interested in learning more about that. So I just wanted to highlight the DRC sustainability team was awarded the 2023 Better Project Award by the U.S. Department of Energy for a new treatment center at the Ohio Reformatory for Women, as among other projects. But the treatment facility at ORW is leadership in energy and environmental design, LEED, gold rating, and hopefully will become well building standard certified. That would make it the first of its kind in the country. The LEED standard measures how a structure will impact energy and the environment, while the WELL certification addresses how the building impacts the health and wellness of occupants. So that concludes the high level portion of the presentation. There's some contact information here that's included in the slides of procurement and CAM staff. If you have any other questions, you call or feel free to email us. I will stop sharing, Shanda.
If you want to leave up your last screen with your information.
Oh,
thank you.
okay, sure.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jennifer and Richard.
I'm
I didn't get
sorry,
a
that was
chance
so
to.
choppy, and
No,
that's
no,
not.
no. It is okay. Just in the event if we do have someone, I know sometimes getting your information. So if we leave it up there as we give final remarks, and then there may be some questions. So again, we definitely want to thank Jennifer and Richard. I didn't know that they were going to be co-presenting, but it's always good to have ODRC. Didn't realize how much that they purchase, and grateful to have them as one of our state agencies. And so maybe the product or products that you provide, services that you provide, maybe something that ODRC is looking for. So hopefully you will be able to join us at the Ohio Business Matchmaker on April 24th down in Dayton. And also going forward, that ODRC or ODOT may be an agency that will be a great fit for you if you're looking to expand into doing business with one of these state agencies. I don't think we do have any questions. So again, I just want to thank, there we go. Okay. Yeah.
Can you see it now? Okay.
Yes, I can. Definitely want to thank Jennifer again and Richard for the co-presentation. And again, looking forward to having them at the Ohio Business Matchmaker. As Joey mentioned, our next webinars every Wednesday. So next week we will highlight understanding at 10 o'clock in the morning, understanding the state and federal small business certification programs at the state level, and then also at the federal level. I will be hoping to facilitate that. And then in the afternoon from 1 to 3, doing business with Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. And my coworker, Jill Nagy-Reynolds, will be facilitating that one. Again, no further questions. The link for today's webinar recording and the link for the slides will be posted on the Matchmaker website. Give it a day or two, and it should be posted on that site. Just go to the Matchmaker website, click on the webinar registration tab at the top of the page, and then there'll be a list of all of the webinars. And I know last week's I did see the links for those posted. So just probably by Friday, these should be up there so you can access them. Awesome. Thank you so much, Joey. And again, we look forward to you joining us next week for our webinar. If you're unable to, we will be having webinars all throughout the rest of March on Wednesdays. And again, we do have the 2 tracks. And then also leading up to the Matchmaker in April, we'll also have webinars. So please go ahead and register for those. And then again, we do hope to see you at the Matchmaker April 23rd, April 24th. Again, thank you so much to ODOT and ODRC for presenting today. And thank you for your time, taking time out of your busy days around the lunch hour So we're grateful that you were able to join us. Everybody have a wonderful day. Enjoy the beautiful weather. And we look forward to seeing you on the next webinar and at the Matchmaker on April 23rd and April 24th. Have a great day. Thank you.